Guys, Jungle Bob here. I was gonna do a video today. Well, I'm still gonna do it, show it to you about checking end gap on rings on the Kawasaki engine. I have to be redoing right now, re-ringing it. But some sad news I heard today. Bama Mudmores, Bama Garage, Doug passed away today. He was sort of a pioneer in the small engine nation community. Started way back, and he's from Alabama. I'm from Alabama. But just wanted to send out my thoughts and prayers for the family. And he was a good one. So if you haven't heard of him before, go check out his channel. Watch some of his videos, and we all know he's in a better place now. I believe he died of cancer. He's been struggling with cancer. I think this is his third bout with cancer. And anyway, just a sad day. And just wanted to send out my condolences to his family. We're gonna miss you, buddy. How's it going? Jungle Bob here. Sunday after Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Today, I'm kind of just, it's getting winter time, and I'm doing a rebuild. This is a Kawasaki FR691V. We're re-ringing it, and we're replacing the head on this side. You can see, I don't know if you can see down in here, this is the exhaust side valve. Looks like it may have, the valve seat may have moved, or the valve guide may have moved a little bit. A lot of oil in there. Anyway, it's blowing smoke under load. It's blowing smoke when it cranks up. It's just blowing smoke. So I'm just going to show you a little bit. There's the cylinder. It doesn't look too bad. I'm not going to hone it out, but I'm going to show you how to check end gap on your rings if you don't have any fancy tools to do it, and just show you what the difference looks like. So if you'll hang on and let me get set up, I'm going to put the old ring in here and show you how to do that. Now what I'm going to do is on these pistons that come out of here, there are 3 rings, or actually 5 rings. There's one that goes on the top groove here, one in the middle, and then there's this what you call the oil ring here, and it has 3 rings. It has 2 that sit on top of it, and one kind of like a corrugated ring in the middle of it. Let's see if we can take that one off. I've already taken the 2 top rings off. Let's see if I can get this one out of here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. We'll come back to that. But anyway, so an easy way to do this, guys, and there's a difference in the top ring and the bottom ring. One of them's a lot stiffer, and usually they're labeled. Now these are used already, and I can't tell which one's which, except I know which one I took off first. And this one came off the top. It was the first ring, and this was the second ring. So let's check the first ring end gap. Just put it back in the cylinder right here. Just like that. And what we're looking for is this little gap right here. There's a little gap right there. Take your piston and just kind of push it in there, get that squared up. And if you got a feeler gauge, you can check it. But if you don't have a feeler gauge, which you should, but you can see this is a big gap. Big gap. I'm going to take you off the tripod and show you. You see how big that gap is right there? Huge. Now I'm going to put a new ring on here and show you the difference. Pull that baby out. It's no good. Worn out. Let's see here. Wind's blowing a little bit. A little chilly out. Now the good thing about this is a fresh set of rings that came from Kawasaki. There's your part number. I got these from Pro Parts Direct. And the good thing about these is they're color coded. There's a, I don't know if you can see that, there's a pink mark on that one. there's a blue mark on that one. And also, if you get real close to it, you can see the blue mark one. Let me get it up here. On the top of it, right there. I don't know if you can see it. It says 1R. That stands for the first ring. And on the pink one, it says 2R, which stands for the second ring. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to check it when I go inside. But anyway, so we're going to put the first ring in here and look at the difference. Be careful, you don't want to break them. Get it in there and take your piston, square it up again. Take it back off. See that gap right there? You can't hardly tell. The specs call for 0.024. So if you had an idea when you're setting your what the difference is, if you were setting your valves, for instance, most valves on this engine is between 4 and 6 thousandths. That's 0.004 to 0.006. This gap should be even smaller than that. And you could tell on the old ring that was on here, this one, that it was way bigger. So this is a good way to tell, and it kind of tells you without having to have a micrometer and all this, the dial gauges and all that. You can tell we're in tolerance here. So that's why it was smoking really bad. And we're going to re-ring this thing, like I said, and put a head on it. But I just thought I'd show you an easy way to tell how your end gaps look, and you can kind of tell if it's wore out or not. Now there's not a lot of cross hatching still left on this cylinder. It's an old engine, but this should take care of all of our smoking problems. Like I said, we're rebuilding this thing. We're going to re-ring it, a new head on one side, new gaskets, but this should solve all of our problems. And the way you notice this start happening is you start losing power when your engine's running. It'll be smoking when you crank it up. That could just be a sign of a valve guide seal that's bad. But especially when you take it and put it under load and it smokes a whole lot, you know, just under load, like when you engage the deck or something, and it puffs out a big old plume of smoke, you know, that's a good sign that your rings are worn. And if it starts running erratically and you know you've got good carburation, good fuel supply, and all that's good, and just basically a loss of power and smoking. So anyway, just a quick way to check your ring end gap. You can tell I'm bored today, but just thought I'd show you this trick. Hey guys, so that just because we're re-ringing this, and I didn't want anybody to get misconstrued, it's smoking a lot and all that, but there are other considerations you need to be looking into when you're doing this. And just a re-ring may not do the trick for you. You need to inspect your pistons, your piston rod, connecting rod. You also need to look at these end cap bearings, make sure they're not scarred up. And this third oiler ring that I was going to take off for you, I couldn't do a while ago. This is what I meant. It has two rings, one that goes on the top of it, one goes on the bottom, and this corrugated ring that goes in the middle. So the best way to install this is put this one in first, your third groove, put this one in first, then put one on the bottom and one on the top when you're installing it. And you want to line up the gaps where they're not, you want to clock the piston. And there's some videos on doing that, clock the rings, I mean, you can do that. You want to get them situated right. You also need to be checking into your cam lobes, make sure they're not rounded off, that kind of thing. You need to inspect your sump cover, make sure that you don't have any scoring around in here. Same thing goes for the journal. where the connecting rods hook up to the crankshaft and the journal. Make sure there's no scar in there. You know, this is just a basic redo, but you know, you want to check everything. I didn't mean to make it sound like it was that easy, and I mean, because it's still involved. While you're in here, you might as well do it right. But basically, you need to check your torques when you're torquing everything back down. All that stuff. There's plenty of videos. We've done this before. I just wanted to show people how they can get a good idea about their end gap. And when I said 4 thousandths to check the valves, 0.004, the difference is this would be a 0.024 on the rings. So you want this end gap, once it's in the piston, to be a 0.024 on the first ring, and I believe the second ring is a 0.038, and then on this one the 0.043 on the oil ring. But if you don't have all them tools, you can get a good, you can tell that gap was bigger than a spark plug gap, so it was allowing a lot of blow by with the oil. And so all those things you need to check out before you put it all back together. Make sure it's worth your time. And like I said, I got these rings from Pro Parts Direct. I don't order from them very much, but in the kit, in the parts they sent this nice little sticker. And of course they sent this brochure. And guess whose name's on it? Terrell on the back, offering small engine repair for Terrell. Of course, that's no surprise. He's a big supporter. But what I did like is they put this scratch and win ticket in there, and you can get a couple different prizes. You can get 1 year free gold membership, which is free shipping all the time, no matter what you order. 50% off shipping or free shipping. So I happened to scratch mine off, so I got free shipping on my next order. So that's pretty cool. That's an advantage from ordering from Pro Parts. Plus, you know, you're getting good quality parts. So I'm going to start doing a little more business with these guys in the future. I usually get my stuff from Parts Tree or something like that, but I'm very happy with what they send. You know, you're getting good quality parts. Anyway, so that's about it for today, and later in the week when we're changing the head, I'll show you a little more about this engine. So that's what we're doing right now. So hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like, subscribe button, ring that bell if you want to see my latest videos. And we'll see you on the next Jungle Bob out.